Where was Roberts born? When a reporter asked him last year, he dodged the question.
Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Sure, yeah, so both parents are from Guyana, South America. So I spent most of my formative years between Guyana and Brooklyn, New York.
Can you tell us which institution he received his doctorate from?
Yes, it was, I know it, the international school, Trident International, right.
Trident International University, an online university.
In 2023, our students, staff, and families warmly welcome Dr. Roberts into our community, and he has served as an enthusiastic voice in support of our students' academic success and the need to support public education. We all need to cool down the rhetoric. We should promote true discourse and facts, not spread misinformation meant to divide us. Our elected officials need to behave like role models for our children. Enough with the name calling and misinformation that is meant to divide us.
A few moments later.
The individual who was leading our district with energy and enthusiasm was detained by ICE agents. Since that time, this district, the Iowa Department of Education, the Department of Homeland Security, and others have learned that his citizenship status and eligibility to work in the United States is not what we were led to believe.
So we got fake degrees, multiple birthdays, and a loaded gun in his car, and somehow this man was running the Iowa's largest school district until he finally resigned. I wanted to show you this photo right here when he was announced to be the supervisor, and that woman in orange, we're gonna be talking about her on this video. Fellas, you need to find a woman that looks at you the way that this person, her name is Jackie Norris, how she's looking at Dr. Ian Roberts. Actually, this is the exact look that I give the DoorDash driver when I buy a pizza at the middle of the night when everyone's sleeping, so my wife and kid doesn't see me eat like a pig. But on more of a serious note, this person by the name of Jackie Norris was Michelle Obama's former chief of staff. So do we have some politics in this classroom? Do we have some politics in this situation? Because this person is leading the board during all of this chaos. So we have a lot of questions. Did the board hire him because of merit? Did they really check this man's background? Or there was boxes that were checked, so no one had to ask the tough questions. Was this ideology running wild or just flat out incompetence? Let's get into it. So yeah, Roberts is officially out. He resigned.
The school board for the city of Des Moines has voted to accept the resignation of Dr. Ian Roberts as its superintendent.
Yeah, board members voted unanimously to accept that resignation. Following his arrest, the board asked Roberts to provide information and ask questions about his citizenship. Norris says he didn't provide those details, but instead submitted his resignation.
A decision like this is really difficult, and you have to weigh a lot of factors. The most significant ones for us were the ones that were staring right in front of us, which is that he didn't have a license to actually be superintendent, and he didn't have eligibility to work in this country.
Not a big shocker there. There's no way this guy was going to keep his job. You can't run a school when your whole resume looks fake and looks like you've just been really, really good at writing fan fiction. It wasn't just the birthdays, it was the fake schools, inflated credentials, all wrapped up in a nice six-figure salary.
Roberts left his last position at Mill Creek High Township in Pennsylvania for the job here. In a note, Mill Creek Township says he passed all clearances, including an FBI background check. But in 2020, at the time of his hiring in Mill Creek, the school board there raised questions about his background, according to minutes of their board meetings.
So you can see now more people are covering this, and they're diving into even contacting schools directly. Morgan State confirmed he never went there. Like, never. Yet it was listed proudly on his record like it was his Ivy League ticket.
More confusing, his LinkedIn, an impressive number of schools. A bachelor from Coppin State University, master's degree, St. John's, Morgan State University. For years, he went by doctor. St. John's confirmed he got a master's but not a doctorate degree. His official bio says he completed programs at Morgan State. But Morgan State tells us no. Quote, Ian Roberts did not receive any degree or certificate from Morgan State University.
This was complete fabrication. And if you're wondering how the district didn't catch this, well, I guess they just trusted his word. They didn't dig. They said that they had some background checks, but I think it's hard to believe that actually happened. And remember, we're going back in time though. The school board did put him on paid leave first.
Seems fitting to take a page out of Dr. Roberts' book and ask the community to engage in radical empathy as we work through the situation together. We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community since he joined over 2 years ago. During his time with our district, he has shown up in ways big and small.
He was arrested with a loaded handgun, a fixed blade hunting knife, $3,000 in cash.
Taxpayer money was going into his pocket only after the Iowa Board of Examiners revoked his license when the board finally cut him off. Putting him on paid leave shows where their priorities were at one point. Not really about protecting the kids or restoring trust, but really to cover themselves. So here's where politics come in. Jackie Norris, board chair now, but she was on the board when Roberts got hired. And she wasn't just anybody, she was Michelle Obama's chief of staff. That's big time politics. Actually, her and her husband have been deep in politics. Her husband, John Norris, was in some kind of interesting situation. I have the clip right here.
Administrator John Norris is agreeing to leave his role in exchange for more than $500,000.
And the deal comes 2 months after Norris was placed on paid leave, and today the Board of Supervisors are expected to approve that deal. Local 5's Megan McPherson is live at the County Administration Building where the board will meet in just a few hours. Megan, how did we get here?
Yeah, Dana and Joseph, you might remember earlier this year when several of the board members had gotten into a verbal dispute here at the County Administration Building. Now, it's not exactly clear what that dispute was about, but we know that Chair Matt McCoy had told the responding sheriff at the time that that dispute was actually over other board members wanting John Norris to be fired or terminated from his role. Again, the reason's not exactly clear, but that's sort of what's led us up until this point. We know that since that point, John Norris has been on paid administrative leave. Now he's agreeing to step down from his role completely in about 12 months in exchange for over $500,000 in compensation. That's all part of a legal settlement that the board will vote on later this morning.
So you have to ask yourself, if you got someone with national political clout sitting in your boardroom, do you think her influence didn't matter in this hire? Obviously, in my opinion, it has. So when this arrest went down, she wasn't the one saying suspend him immediately, defending him like there was some kind of misunderstanding instead of a full-blown scandal. So we have to have an important detail here. Norris wasn't the chair of the board when Roberts was hired, but she was on the board at the time. So obviously some of her background as a former chief of staff in the Obama White House had influence on who got hired or not. That makes her decision to defend him afterward even more troubling.
When the news broke that ICE arrested Roberts, initially, Des Moines School Board Chair Jackie Norris called for radical empathy.
Are you still calling for radical empathy, and is the board taking any responsibility for his hiring?
There was nothing in the information that was given to us to allude to any question about his citizenship.
You can actually say this goes against Obama's policies because at one point, Obama was called deporter-in-chief. He deported more people than anyone. I think Trump is going to probably beat him in this administration. But it's very interesting that we have this situation here where progressive politics may have been in play to hire someone that looks like him. I mean, look at Norris. She is very, very happy that he was a superintendent. He was able to check some boxes and he was able to get a job even though he was a full-blown scammer. Is it more about image than substance? Or is this board just so asleep at the wheel that they couldn't just spot obvious issues? It could be both. Because you can't say you're for the kids while elevating a man with a lot of shady issues, some degrees that weren't verifiable. They had a deportation order and a rap sheet. That's pure negligence. So if this was about optics, about checking the boxes, about saying how progressive we are, then kids and parents just paid the price for politics. Norris was the chief of staff to Michelle Obama. That job means managing teams, overseeing vetting, making sure that every detail is airtight. A chief of staff is the gatekeeper. Nothing gets by without their eyes on it. So how is it possible that someone with a resume can sit at the board and let Roberts slide through? Even more baffling, other districts that hired him in the past also failed to verify his credentials. So this wasn't just one mistake. And even more surprising, other districts that hired him in the past also failed to verify his credentials as well. The fact that Norris, with all of her experience in high-level vetting, didn't stop it makes the whole thing even harder to excuse. This whole situation raised a very important question. Was this blindness willful or just convenient? Who else is sliding through in this school district? Norris was on the board, now she's a chair. Whether Roberts was able to charm and fool them or not, the accountability does fall squarely on the board. The people that was trusted to guard the schools failed, and there should definitely be consequences. The board should be punished in some way for letting this happen. So yeah, Roberts is gone. And the embarrassment is still there, and there's still more information coming out about the situation. I'm very surprised. I did not see this coming. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.